It didn't work for me. Okay. So the reason why I'm saying that, because I want my brothers to understand the best thing I can do, and I'm older now. I'm not that child no more. I'm not that kid no more. You get me? So a lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do today. A lot of the stuff I used to do, brothers, it just don't feel right no more. Because I'm older now. I'm not a child. You get me? I don't need no woman to try to mold and shape me. Don't do that. Don't come in my life telling me you this, you that, or you need to. Don't do it. Do not do it. Okay? Don't do it. What's more important to me right now than anything else, because I am connected better now. Because it's just me and the Holy Spirit, me and the Son, me and the Father. Just that one. So don't come over here, because I'm going to fill you out with your bull crap. And if I feel something ain't right, bye. Because I've been there before. And I will start seeing some of the signs that I went through before. I refused to at 64. It's the peace that I have. I know dealing with people in general, we're gonna have our ups and downs. I know that. I understand all of that. I understand all of that. Because life brings us challenges. You get me? But I don't have to stay there with it. If it's an unhealthy place. Steps for staging an intervention for a loved one. When a man, when a man in your life struggling, a structured approach to essential due, to an essential due to high, come on now, move out my way, move out my way. Due to the high barriers of stigma. Hey, Candy. And once again, it goes back to the statement where it says, like, men ain't supposed to cry, men ain't supposed to hurt, men ain't supposed to go through certain little changes, stuff like that. That's not true. I didn't know. And it's not to talk bad about nobody. It's just emotionally and mentally, we will turn around if we're not careful. We will beat a person up with our mouth. I got you, Candy. You're no good dish. You such and such and such and such. You remind me of this. You remind me of that. Right? That's not good. If you find yourself doing that to a mate, that's not healthy. That's not good. That's called mental, emotional, and verbal abuse. If I recognize that in you, bye. Bye. I'm not going to put up with it this time. You better work on yourself. Because when you come, you better make sure you complete. Preparation. Plan what you want to say in advance. Focus on specific behaviors you observe rather than using mental health labels like depression, which may cause defensiveness. I'm just reading what Twitter is sending me because I had to restart my restream. It's talking about the individual. Plan what you're going to say. It's talking about preparation, family. Plan what you want to say in advance. Focus on specific behaviors you observe rather than using mental health labels like depressed, which may cause defensiveness. That's why I call myself just listening. You ain't always try to fix people, situation. When I say that, I'm talking about somebody close to us, like a loved one, a relative. Because to be honest with you, y'all know that's part of my business is helping other people. So I don't want to make it sound like it's contradictory, right? You just got to know where your place. Let me just say that. You got to know. Chose the right environment. Pick a private, safe, comfortable location where he feels in control. Basically, it's saying to the woman, or it might not have to actually be the woman. It says steps for staging and intervention for a loved one. It just says steps for intervention towards for a loved one, right? But y'all know I'm talking about men. I just want to make sure this is clear. Because it talked about preparation. Plan what you want to say in advance. Chose the right environment. Pick a private, safe, and comfortable location where he feels in control. Avoid staging discussions during a crisis in public. So basically, it's telling you rather than arguing, I'm going to just say what you made. All right, I'm going to do that one. Because it said a loved one. What it's saying out in public, try not to act like a fool. That's all. To make it simple for you. Lead with compassion. Use I statement, such as I've been worried about you, to express concern without blame. Why you ain't called me? Why you did? Why you that? You know, I've been worried about you. Are you okay? It's good to hear. Professional guidance, family. Let's skip that other one. It say lead with compassion, then offer a clear path forward. Don't just put out problems. Provide specific resources such as a doctor number or recommend for a male tutor platform like Men Therapy. That's why, as a recovering addict, and I'm just saying this, I sponsor men. I have no problem talking with men. Okay, one-on-one. I have no problem talking with women. I've sponsored women throughout this process as well. Now, mind y'all, and y'all hear me say it a lot, when I started my housing program, my goal was just to help men, women, children put their lives back together. My goal in that process was my 12-step spiritual journey. The same path I took that helped me turn my life around to live a more productive way of life is what I began to use to help others turn their lives around. Somebody called me a life coach. I just see myself as a person who God led, delivered from the drugs and the alcohol. Oh my God, the smugs and the alcohol, right? For TikTok's sake. And it's just to go back and help others to come out of that lifestyle, obsessive and compulsive lifestyle, addictive behavior, and gain some peace in your life. Because other people taught me. So the goal was to give it back. Because I was told the only way I can keep what I have is by giving it back in a more healthier way. I had to get healthier first on a spiritual level to be able to give it back. Professional guidance for severe cases. Consider hiring a professional interventionist to help navigate potential anger and restraint, self-control, discipline. You don't have to be so quick to act out in a negative way. Anything that will cause you, like, to harm somebody physically. Sometimes you got to think first. So you won't regret it later. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. This has a lot of stuff because I wanted to know and I wanted to just say some things, right? To, like I said, empower our men, to encourage our men. This is not, and I'm gonna tell you, it's never. When it comes to talking about personal stuff in life, a lot of people are afraid to look at self. They are afraid to look at self. They real good at pointing fingers at everybody else's. But when it comes to actually looking at themselves, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of courage, family. It takes a lot of confidence. That's why whenever somebody reach out to me for help and I do my intake, it starts with communication, number one, talking. You got to help that individual feel comfortable, that they can be honest about themselves. Watch where I go. I do it every time. They have to learn to gain faith back in themselves. They have to learn to trust back in themselves, not you. Because we so busy wanting people to win favor in us, so later we can turn our backs on them. If you ain't the type of person that stand firm on your words, your actions, stand back. To thy own self be true. Because when you can't look at yourself, how in the freak can you help somebody else? That's why a lot of people don't like when I talk on this type of level. And I open up the doors, keeping life real. So any problems, any issues that you're dealing with personally, this is a platform you can come. I have no problem in listening. And if I have experienced what you're talking about, I'm going to share with you how I was able to walk up out of that and stay out of it a day at a time. A lot of people don't want that. And when I say that, I'm talking about black people. Because we so used to pointing fingers at the white man this and this man that and that man. Look, rather than looking at self. One thing about Steve Copeland, y'all don't hear me doing that. I know how important it is to get to know yourself, to start believing and trusting back in yourself, the Most High. So in some cases, family, when I'm talking with people and I'm encouraging people, I can't come straight out and talk about Jesus Christ. Because everybody don't believe in Jesus Christ in that sense. I might have to use the words like a power greater than yourself. I might have to use words like good orderly direction. I might have to use words like a higher power until you get to take those steps where you believe in Jesus Christ. I can't throw it all at you at one time. And some people are so proud because they know scripture and it works well. Everybody don't get it. That's why I had to get out of that religious box. And it's not to knock nobody. I had to get out. I love when Jamal Bryant came in our church. And Jamal Bryant said, find your life story. Your life story is in Bible. Blew my mind. Moved out of that religious box. When Carolyn Showell came in our church, she said, God can say no in all languages at one time. Got me out that box, that religious box of thinking God just only speak English. You see how we screw ourselves up? Do y'all see how we screw ourselves up? Read the King James Bible, but we talk plain English. For thou, therefore, I had to start reading stuff. I read the commentary. I study cross references when it comes to the manuscript. I want a better, clear understanding or more clear understanding of what I'm reading and what I'm studying to apply it to my life to make me a better man. This is what I'm saying, brothers. Wherever you're a Muslim, wherever you're Israelite or Hebrew, I don't know a lot of names of the other, religions out there. But why in the freak should I read and study something, right? And want to still be a deceitful, lying, manipulating person? I use Bible to help me to become a better man in today. It's the morals, values, and the spiritual principles that I get out of it. I already know from the way I used to live, family, that corrupt lifestyle, that deceitful lifestyle. I already know how that is. So I had to go in and I had to find ways and means to help me become a better person a day at a time by reading and studying the words. And I was going to say the laws. Okay? I had to go in, hey, Bishop, for me to become a better man today. I had to learn to do that. I don't knock nobody for, if you want to take the word and beat people down with it for the mistakes that they make in their lives, that's on you. I can sit here and tell you now, I don't make the mistakes I used to make. And don't care to practice a lot of old ways of life. I'm older now. I'm not a child. Head up, guys. Offer specific tools and tips for men dealing with depression. If you're in that state, gentlemen, where you like, woe is me, where you feel like the weight of the world emotionally and mentally is weighing down on you, you got to get out of that space. And what I normally tell people, when we go into a state of depression, I'm going to tell you all this, keep in mind, when you ever find yourself going into a state of depression, it's because something in your past then came up in your life today that's causing you, to go into that shallow hole. I call it a grave. And when you find yourself starting to sink in that state of depression, it takes work to come out. So you have to start telling yourself or feeding yourself positive affirmation. You are worthy. You are a great person. You are a beautiful person. You got to fight it. You got to fight it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You got to fight it to come up out of that. I look at it as going down into that grave. So you fight to come out. You might slip again. You still fight to come out. Don't give up. Because a lot of people have a tendency of backing up because something from your past is weighing you down in the here and the now. Read it up. Most people that deal with depression, it's something from the past that's haunting you in the here and now. Could have been a week or two, but it's here and it's causing you to wallow. Self-pity. But the work it takes to work up out of it. Now, like right now, you can be in one space in the house. Your mind is there. Sometimes you got to ignore your mind and let your body just go and walk another way. So say like you in your bedroom and you in a state of self-pity, depression, walk into another space. See, it's the body, but the mind is going to eventually follow. Go outside because you got to focus on positive stuff unless you take meds for it. But it should, if you dealing with a counselor, you dealing with a therapist, and you dealing with depression, they should have taught you how to use certain like strategies to work up out of it, even with your meds. You got to focus on positive stuff. I deal with people with mental issues, psychological issues. So I had to learn a lot. And some of those things, when you look at your own life, oh man, I felt like this, I felt like that, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but doing work on myself, I learned. So it's not to stay there too long. Move, what? Move member. Move, MOVE member. This gonna mess you up because I ain't even pronounced the word right. But it say provide resources for men's health. This is a I think it's a program, right? And it say provides for men's mental health, including mental health and suicide prevention. And I've been reading up on a lot of that too, where it says a lot of men have been committing, they have been unaliving themselves. And just now, it kind of took me back to when I went through what I went through, and I wanted to run that tractor trailer off a bridge. But I was afraid that I might have lived through it. And then I would have had to tell y'all about it. So I thank you, God, for delivering me from that. Primary care physician, a good first professional Stop to rule out physical causes and get referrals to therapists who specializes in men issues. A lot of people might not have money to go to a therapist, counselor, stuff like that, right? That's why I open up the doors for us as men to be able to talk to each other, support each other, help each other understand it's okay. And to be honest with y'all, right, even though I'm older now, I'm not a child no more. I'm not a little boy. I am a man. Sometimes I have to look at myself. And it's my personal part, which makes me a man. You know, my peanut is what makes me a man. But then I love what somebody was saying one day. The stuff I used to do as a child, I don't do no more as a man. I was like deep. So I grown into this. See, I have to look at me. Basically, everything I do in life to make sure my life is still on track. And this is basically, it was talking about the primary care physician reaching out to like a counselor, reaching out to a therapist. Some of y'all might be church bound. Reach out to your pastor, reaching out to the support group in the church, because if I'm not mistaken, all churches should have a support group of men where the same way they do with the women, they normally create these ministries, the men's ministries. You might not feel real comfortable because you stuck on this religious thing about life rather than being truthful with yourself. And I'm not discrediting nobody, I'm not downgrading nobody, but I had to learn to move away from people that's too goddamn going religious, act like they don't go through nothing in life, because you'll make me think something wrong with me when you make it seem like everything is always just smooth and peaches and cream. And I'm like, why? I used to go through that. But I understand today. Trials and tribulations come to make us strong. God used his most powerful, loyal servants. Brothers, please keep in mind, y'all watched me a little bit earlier, right? Hey, what's up, Mike? I have no problem. If I'm hurt, I'm going to tell y'all I'm hurt. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, I already know how to reach out. I already know certain things to do to get out of this space. And that was the point of me talking about like going into a state of depression. You might have to take your body and be willing to move your body somewhere else. Because once you move the body, the mind can't do nothing but follow. But you got to gain that strength and that courage and that power within the body just to get out of that position where you at. So you're taking this right here and you putting your mind into a healthier place. It might not seem like it. It might not feel like it. Even if you got to walk out the house, get out that bed. Because once it start coming, you entertaining it here. This is how most illnesses come, attacks us here. You got two options, either to entertain it or do the necessary work to push it out. It takes work. And Mike just said it. Like I said earlier, it's called self-evaluation, which is a form of prayer and meditation. Yoga. You might have to go somewhere, like in a park. I'm just thinking of somewhere where it's nice and quiet, serene. Then you learn to shut a lot of the stuff out. And I'm looking at y'all like this, right? Because know why? When I said you got to learn to shut a lot of things out. Mike said you must have a healthy thought. Like being on the beach in the Caribbean. Remember, Mike, remember what I was saying about walking lately? Checking out my surroundings. Some days I'd be so blown away. I just be blown because I'm like, my daughter got my truck. I drove tractor trailers for a long time. So it's like, I said either way, Steve, you're going to have to help her get something to get your truck back or buy you another truck. I ain't trying to keep wasting money, right? But the reality is, I told myself, once I get my truck back, do not stop walking. Only drive when I have to go to appointments or take care of business, you get me? When you, and I didn't realize this, family, when you set up, and I'm saying business-wise, your business to the point where you don't have to always be on site all the time. When you got other people that you can push people to for the housing part of things, right? That's a beautiful feeling. And it makes me think about people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and them. Because it takes the corporation to come together. Yeah, Mike. Look, Mike, I don't study Kung Fu, but I tell you right now, it takes work. Real simple. Mike, I got me a foot massage. The bubble. I'm gonna read up how many days out the week I should do it. Once a week, twice a week. Because I understand it's a lot of from listening to what some of the Hilosi people talk about. I even brought some vinegar, right? To put in the water from what they was talking about, Mike. My goal is to, Mike, whatever toxic we've been putting in our unhealthy stuff in our bodies for the longest freaking time. Now I'm 64, and it's like cleaning house, Mike. Mike, I'm 64, and it's like cleaning house. Yeah. Mike said, in the dark room, light a candle. But you know what too, Mike? And basically everything you saying, and thanks, Mike. I started putting puzzles. I do puzzles, right? Which helps me a lot too. I'll play my crossword games and stuff like that. I got you, Mike. I know. But look, look, everything Mike is saying, once you now, I don't know now, but I can't speak for when I was in my 30s, my 40s, and my 50s, I still thought I was young. Right? Sometimes I had to remind myself, Mike, Steve, you're 64, you're not 46. All right. There you go, Mike. There you go, Mike. And that's what I'm realizing. The mental state. What's up, Janice? The mental state and the mental conditioning is very, very important to me. I'm gonna get ready to end this in a little bit. But look, Mike, family, I'm proud of little Steve. I know y'all might have seen the video, right? I forgot little Steve, his mother's boyfriend, oldest daughter, baby father. And my girls, they went to the gun range. Little Steve got his license to carry. Blew me away. My thing is, I said, son, just be careful. Now, I don't like to go here, family. My son went and got a Tesla, right? Young black man, 23 years old. I do not want no white police to come for my son. Please don't do it. Because I won't look at you as a police. I will look at you as another human being, right? Y'all taught me a lot, officers, because of what happened to me 3 years ago when the white police came together and created 14 false charges on me in a false police report. And me and this guy was talking about how he knew I'm a community activist. He knew I do a lot. He knew about my housing program and everything, not just him. The whole Eastern District Police Department did. When this dude created 14 charges and a fake police report, Mike, I did. I was sitting here thinking about what happened some years ago, right? And this officer and I was talking about how we want to leave a legacy behind for our children, blah blah blah, because of the work we do, and for him to do what he did. And then this white female detective, because she asking me questions about some bull junk that he faked and put stuff together. They gotta know each other, right? She created 3 more charges and another fake police report. So I had 17 fake charges and 2 false police reports. The first judge said something ain't right with this. This don't go together. It didn't go together. How you gonna charge me home invasion burglary on my own rental property and business? And then gonna charge me with assault on a young man that I call my nephew that I was taking care of because his father came and straightened out some stuff from him disrespecting me. So the whole thing it came down to, family, that they could throw at me was guilty by association. Even though, Mr. Copeland, we know you didn't do this, we know you didn't do that. And this is what the prosecutor said. But you are guilty by association. And I looked over at her and I wanted to tell her so bad, so is your boss. So is the mayor. Because I know them both. I'm the one that helped your boss to become state's attorney. I helped him twice when he ran. I wanted to tell her that so bad. He's guilty by association for knowing me and the mayor and the council members and the senator and the Congress people. But I was like, I'm going to let it go. So anytime you want to know anything about Steve Copeland, that's all you got to do is Google it. I Google my own self from time to time just to see what they putting out there. Oh wow. I'm gonna say your name, Paul. Paul Brookshaw, he retired from the police department, right? I call him Little Steve, second father. Like if anything happened to me, I know he got Little Steve back. He's a white guy, Mike. But look, he's street. I mean, he's serious, you know what I mean? So he had to retire because he ain't play. But anyway, when something happened with Little Steve had got stopped by white police. And just one ticket for speeding, but he put 5 of them together. And I was trying to find out where the white police was at. But Paul and them told me, just back up, Steve. They said they got it. I wanted to let them know, not that one right there. That's my son. He not one of them that hangs out in the street and break the crime and blah, 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 right? Raised him very well. He's nothing like his father, the way his father grew up. This is how I would have talked with him. I would have let him know straight out. That's a good kid right there. I'm the one you need to watch out for if it boiled down to that, right? Well, anyway, when we went to court, he didn't come. The police didn't come. They gave Little Steve the ticket. Thank you, God. So I went up and I stood beside my son. I said, Your Honor, can I come up to, you know what? I'm talking to my brothers. I went up. I asked the judge, could I come up and stand beside my son? Because I wanted him to know this is a special young man right here. And I was telling him how Little Steve, at 15 years old, Adidas invited him to Amsterdam to represent Baltimore City in the United States in the soccer thing over there, right? Would they beat the Dutch? They beat it the Dutch. Why, after I said that, the judge started talking with Little Steve about soccer and everything? Because he got real excited, right? My son was 15 years old. He was asked to come to Amsterdam. He was invited to represent Baltimore City in the United States. Do y'all know how that feel walking my son through the airport of New York? "23 now. His goal is to be a professional soccer player. My daughter took a recording of him got him a Tesla, signing his own name. Signing his own name. I was like, wow, he didn't need a co-sign or nothing. I don't know. And it's just words of encouragement, family. I don't know if that means anything to anybody else, but that means a lot to me, who wanted at one point, brothers, by the time I turned 26 years old, my goal was to be the biggest hustler in Baltimore City. By the time I turned 26, it didn't work. So y'all know what comes with that lifestyle, right? We the one had the package out there. So y'all know what come with that life. But to look at my children, how we had to raise them totally different. Two of my nieces became airplane stewardess. My sister daughter in the Air Force. She might be about 20, 21 now. Let me tell y'all, my words are encouragement to let Black people understand no matter where you at in life, you can be successful. You might not be that millionaire, that billionaire, that trillionaire, but I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and financially comfortable and all of that good stuff. But it takes work to get there. My daughter got a place in Canton. My daughter works in the law firm. She got a car payment, and I know that wherever she at, I know it ain't cheap. When I say Canton, Canton is not cheap. Why do I got hair right here? I can't believe that. On my ear. Y'all don't like hearing stuff like that. And if you want to go ahead with it, yeah, we can. Why I shouldn't brag? Why I shouldn't boast? Y'all better get out this state. My 12-step spiritual program. My 12-step spiritual journey. I became a deacon in 2009. The Holy Spirit called me back into the community. If y'all know what a deacon position is, that's what I do. I'm back into the community. Thanks, Mike. And sometimes, Mike, it all depends. I know, cousin Corey, it all depends, right? Hey, Corey. Remember I told you they want me to run, hey, Mike, they want me to run for, council member. I went on AI and I Googled, hey, Larry. I went on AI and I Googled myself, right? Should Steve Copeland run for council member? Excuse me, y'all. Y'all know I talked about everything I do. Larry Wallace, my man. Hey, understand? I did AI on myself, right, to see would Steve be a good candidate because person, because of the work I do and everything. And it talks about everything I do. I know. I was thinking about you the other day too, again, cuz. And my Copeland family. I'm gonna tell y'all, I I've been doing research on my own self lately. I had. Because I'm like, what is they putting out about me, right? Because I'm known as the big mouth, bald head black dude, right? And it said that too. It said that too. It said that he's known as the big mouth, bald head black dude because he speaks out a lot. Then it talked about how the two polices came together and set me up. It even mentioned that. And I felt unjust. Matter of fact, I made copies of it. Because guess what? Keith and I are going to sit down with the rest of the team. We're going to sit down and talk. And I told him, I said, this time, I have no problem. And then it talks about, I looked up something else, right? Because it's more like an independent thing for me. Rather Democrat or Republican, independent for what we're looking at. I'm already doing the work. And that's what it was saying. So whenever I open up my mouth to say Baltimore City, if you vote for me, I'm gonna do this, do that, I'm already doing it because of the grassroots stuff. I know, Corey. I know they don't like the truth, Corey. Yeah, I already know. That's why I had to learn to shut my mouth. What? Where Mike said on CBS tonight there was a 14-year-old young man running for governor. Where he running for governor at? And it talks about too, right? Because of everything that I do, Mike and Corey, as far as community stuff, strengthening the community activist stuff like that. Now it talks about how it will have my name out there more, more out on a different level, rather I win or not. And I'm not trying to be smart, Corey. I'm a Copeland. I already, family, not being smart, not bragging or boasting, if that's the way y'all want to take it, I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me because you know what? I love Baltimore City and I want the best for us. I want the best for us. Now, what happened to me 3 years ago, in Vermont, I'm going to look it up. I had to back some, family, right? The goal is I just don't want to be on the front line like I used to be. It's not a good feeling. All right. Be honest, I wanted to say I'm scared. Because I know I could lose my life. What happened to me 3 years ago showed me I could have lost my life. I know, I know, Mike. I know. That's why I said I'm gonna start being nicer. I'm gonna stop coming so hard for him. I voted Democratic for 40 years, right, of my life. Yeah, Corey. My cousin Corey said the younger generation has to step up. That's why when I talk with certain younger people and I hear that fight in them, I can tell if they're human rights advocates. And I'll ask them, is this what they're doing or they studying certain things? And I'm like, good. Because be honest with y'all, I have to take a back seat. I have to. My mouth, I already know, is the big weapon for this corrupted bull crap. Mike, I voted Democrat, man, for I am Mike for 40 years. I got a little depressed and backed up when I found out they was running the city in the hole. I became a Republican because they talked a real good game, Mike. Talking about how they want to help the people to become more independent and all that. I'm like, come on then, come on, because that's what I'm doing in Baltimore City. Where they at, Mike? So I found out, not being smart, all of it's full of crap. One thing I could say, the difference between what we do. Yeah, Brandon Scott, to me, one thing I tell her, Mike, when it comes to when it comes to the youth, Brandon Scott don't play. He don't play when it comes to the teenagers, to the kids, man. He don't play. But two, what I start understanding, right? Everybody have somebody to pull their strings. The toughest thing for me, I was offered money, Mike, Corey. I was offered money twice to back down, to stop doing what I do. I was offered money twice. I said no. Somebody told me at one time, Mike, I was on here, somebody said you should have took the money and just changed the name of your business. I said, damn, I didn't even think about that. Hey, Albert, I ain't think about that. They told me I should have took the money. I was offered $1 million twice to back down. One of them was the police too. Talking about he get ready to retire, come sit at the table. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't, because he probably was trying to set me up. I ain't even think about that at that time, right? But I thank God, man. I'm like, I felt like, Corey, deep in my spirit, I felt like my conscience would have whooped my butt. Yeah, Brandon Scott, Mike, the best thing I could say, he's doing the best he can. And not just him, the governor too. And what I said, Mike, I know, Mike, that was my fear, Mike. Mike, hey, Corey, Mike said once you take the money, they got you in their pocket. That was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear. Now, even with this right here, Mike, now y'all know, if I win independently, I would still have to deal with the Democrats and the Republicans. It doesn't matter, because there's other parties out there. There you go, Mike. There you go. There you go. And I realized the same thing with that orange guy. I got you. I got you. I started saying it, Mike. That's the only reason why I had to back up some. And what happened to me, family, before I got arrested, I got a phone call. A couple of weeks before I got arrested, that they were shutting the community activists down. I said, oh, Brandon Scott ain't gonna let nothing happen to me, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I was gone. And I said, no wonder I ain't hear too much from Booney and all this and that, right? Most of our community activists, they start coming for you. Shut this down. But see, the difference with me, I got my platform. So what I had to learn to do, Baltimore City, there you go. My cousin said he got, he had my brother Kumo D and his brother Garmel, if I pronounce his name wrong, Garmin, that keep him grounded on Islam. You know what, Corey? My brother came through TikTok today. Bishop Carrington came through too. I seen you, Bishop. Y'all ain't request to come up, but I seen you. You ain't requesting. I seen Dr. J pop in one day in Halltail. I be watching y'all. I mean, do what y'all gotta do. Y'all just know when it come to me, I ain't. Yeah. I love y'all anyway. Baltimore City, y'all know. I love y'all. But this will hit me, Corey. I already do the work as far as the politicians just create laws, right? It's the grassroots organizations. I'm gonna say your nonprofits and stuff like that normally comes with it's businesses that comes with the solution towards the laws that's being created. Now, it's up to the people, and that's what I begin to understand. It's the people that has to live accordingly. It's just like the scriptures, the laws in the scripture. You break them, you get punished. They use that for the laws of the land. Oh, all right, cuz I got you. So when the thing is, either way it goes, family, as a human rights advocate, right? Whatever laws they create, hey, Corey, I was getting ready to say you and 50 about the same age, right? You and 50? I know I'm older than you and 50. 50, how old is 50? Because I was reading that bull junk with him and T.I. and stuff. Did you say happy birthday to Slim? Corey, did you say happy birthday to Slim? And how old is Ray J? Ray J Copeland, because he called Slim Unc. And I think Slim, I'm 64. I think Slim is ran by what, 66? Somewhere along that line. No, don't put it up now. Yeah, he probably gonna message me later and say something crazy. Watch. But look, I think Slim is what? Round about, oh, you 57. I think Slim is around about 66, if I'm not mistaken. I know we close in age. I'm 64. So he's probably round about Mike's age. Mike said he's 66. But how old is because Ray J called him uncle. And I know Ray J, I'm just saying that because I don't think Ray J I know he ain't my age. How old was DMX? DMX should have been what, Corey? Around your age? About 55? Whew. Every time, Corey, Yeah, okay. Every time Corey, when I think about him, bro, and I was out there in the streets, didn't know we was around each other like that, I thank God we did not clash. I thank God we did not clash. And I was listening to one of the interviews they did with him back in the days, and he was talking about how him and what's your name dislocated his shoulders. That's a shame I can't get his name, that actor. Oh my God. Come on, Corey. His name right on the tip of my tongue. You know, karate and everything. Not John Claude, not him. It was one of them movies he did, and what's your name kind of put his arms behind him, but he dropped him down to the ground, and he fell down to the ground with him. And he said when he did that, it broke. I mean, it dislocated his shoulder. But he was making a statement about it. But in the way he was saying, he believed he meant to do it. Not DMX was 50 when he passed away. Steve Seagal. Steve Seagal. It was Steve Seagal. He was talking about on the interview how him and Steve Seagal had gotten to it because Steve Seagal can fight. But they was talking about how DMX, they said Steve Seagal was scared of DMX. And Steve fight. Steve fight. But they was talking about how when they was doing the interview with him, saying how Steve Seagal was like, when it came to, because DMX street. He was street. That was my little cousin. Hey, Corey Copeland all the way, man. I'm telling you. When I think back about them days, man, and I know my children, right? Um, that's why I say family. My children, I thank God that my wife and I was able to provide a better life for them than what we had. I know. I was hearing about it. They be putting up a lot of his on TikTok. They be showing a lot of his like interviews, people talking about him, and throughout the years and stuff like that. But look, family, I'm gonna get ready in this. My 2 hours is up. But y'all know my thing. Monday, bro, brothers, my kings, keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to be afraid to say I'm hurt. You don't have to be afraid to cry. I'm gonna tell y'all this to be honest. All right, cuz for the life that I lived, Corey, back in the days, I don't have no problem crying today. Because I remember I used to take a lot of pain and anger and hurt out on people. Women, stop thinking because you're man might seem a little sensitive or a little warm, that makes them weak. No. Some of your hardcore gangsters feel too, okay? And the reason why a lot of us do what we do, or did what we did, was for protection. All right, family. Either I was going to hurt you or you was going to hurt me. And the goal was protecting me. Now, mind y'all, I did not. When you in it, I didn't see it like that. But now that I'm older and I'm not like that no more, I can talk about it. For some people that's probably still caught up or thinking that's the lifestyle to go. No. It amazes me to be 64. Baltimore City, I just want to say this. I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end this. And thank y'all love and support. New beginnings, cuz. New beginnings. New beginnings, Corey. That's true. That's true. That's true. And I'm going to tell y'all, support my YouTube page. I'm trying to grow my YouTube page. I know a lot of y'all might not be on Twitch. I don't know, but I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. But most of the people that's on Twitter, which is X, right? Most of them on there are your politicians. But now they're starting to post a lot of stuff on there now that's ghetto is all outdoors. I don't know if y'all pay any attention to it, but X is showing some raunchy stuff now. And I believe they doing it to get more, melanated people or black people to come in more. Because I'm not reading up on stuff about politics like I used to over there. And it's still there. But they starting to report some crazy stuff, which is beginning to remind me of, I'm sorry, family, I'm stuttering. I think it's Snoop. It's on my tablet. But it's like to me, it's going downhill now. It's going downhill. So X is nothing like Twitter is nothing like it used to be. I go over there because I get notifications and I deal with our politicians. So I go over there just to read certain things that's going on. But other than that, it done got ghetto as heck to me. Certain people that I deal with in Baltimore City, it's a lot of them over there posting stuff. It's a lot of them on LinkedIn posting stuff. But this bull crap that's happening over there now, look, guy on the bus fighting against an assault. They be showing black people fighting and all this type of stuff. You know how they do. All right. Karen thinks she can mess with the girls and get away, but she and her family paid the price. Now, this is a white woman and her husband got out the car fighting a bunch of black people. Oh my God. Look, I don't know how they doing, family. I'm talking about X. But they didn't put some ghetto stuff up here. A baseball bat versus a big stick. They didn't put, I mean, it don't even feel right no more. Let me see. I know they probably gonna laugh because I'm on my live is being done over there. So I know they probably I'm looking at myself on live. So I know a lot of y'all might not be on Twitter, Twitch, but I live stream to those platforms. I live stream to two of my I know family, we will. Corey, we gonna talk, bro. And two of my what happened? Oh. Two of my Facebook pages. And see, I just be going over there, just checking them out to make sure my stuff is being broadcast. Let me go back here. Do 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 do. I'm telling y'all, family, I need a whole crew. I need a whole crew. A whole crew. I need a whole broadcasting crew. This stuff be weighing me down. All right, Corey, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, family, so I can chill out the rest of the night. Baltimore City, once again, I love y'all. And thanks for your love and support. Please go to my YouTube page. Follow me, like, subscribe. I know, Corey. Yeah, I try to make this least. I be trying to do 45 minutes, Corey, but I put from 6 to 8 on here. I don't want to make them too long. And after 30 days, they delete them anyway, but I'm all right with that. That's why I make little clips from my TikTok so I can send over to my other social media pages. All right, family, I'm out. Love you, love you, cuz.